Davila School in Bryan ISD has a program that is extremely special. It's unique to it. It's a program that'll be very familiar to you. Certainly the name Chuck Norris is one well known in our community and well known in the area of KICKSTART Kids. It's the program we're talking about. We have the person who's leading it, we have a parent volunteer, and we have kids who know how to do it, and a principal that supports it. So we're going to be sharing all of that with you on the next segment. To begin with, I want to introduce you to Romeo Gargoyle. He is the master, he is the KICKSTART instructor, and we're so glad you're here.
Thank you for having us.
And with him is Clay Ruffino. Clay is my contact in telling me what's going on and what an incredible program it is. He's a parent volunteer, and Clay, it's everything you told me and more. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
And of course, we are on the set with all of these young men and young lady, and we'll be meeting them in a moment. But to begin with, I want to find out about the program, how you became what you are, the 10-time world title champion, and became associated with this program.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Romeo Gargoyle. I'm originally from New Jersey. I actually heard about the KICKSTART program through friends that I used to compete with on the national circuit. They've all told me about this wonderful program helping kids, of all ages. Basically, we are a nonprofit program, so I've worked at a lot of very successful commercial schools, but at the same time, commercial schools is very money driven, which is understandable because it is a business. So I really wanted to just go back to the roots of just working with kids and focusing just martial arts, not all about the money. And it's been an amazing experience, and I love what I do. So when they told me about the program, I came out to Texas, had the interview, and got offered the job, right on the spot. And I've been here about 4 years now. This is my 4th year teaching KICKSTART, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And it's a PE class as well.
Yes, ma'am. It's an alternative to PE. So they get graded as a PE grade. They take tests, they get grades, they get quizzes, and at the same time they get to progress in belts. So they start off as white belts, and they can progress as high as they would like to. We even have kids that are still in college right now. They're still in the KICKSTART program. That
is exciting. And now, Clay, as a parent, reflect on the program and why you wanted your child to participate.
Really, for my son, I just wanted him to be able to gain a little bit of confidence, but I see a whole broad spectrum of stuff. There's a lot of unity with the kids. From the high school kids, they're great mentors to the younger kids. My son has definitely gained some confidence from his participation. A lot of kids get a meaning of unity from being a part of a good program, and with Mr. Gargoyle here, it's definitely a good program. So it's been everything that we hoped it would be, and it's really done a lot of good.
Well, I want to get you to introduce the girl and guys,
yes,
and then we'll take a look at them in action.
Yes, ma'am. Right behind me, right here, he's our first red belt in the program. His name is Parker Brady. He's actually a high school student at Rudder High School. Next up, we have Mason Barrera, Thomas Carter, Celeste Post, Louis Ruffino, Max Lipscomb, and Jason Ronick.
So glad to have all of them. And of course, we went to your spot and took some footage of them doing what they do. So we're going to look at that, and then we're going to get you to tell us what we're seeing.
Yes, ma'am. So right now, this is a sort of a demonstration that we put together about a day ago, just for the show. Just a little bit of sound. Basically, we compete all over, and we do demonstration. We perform at the NCAA championships. We've also performed at the Gala, the Celebrity Tennis Tournament at Rice University, World Fest, pretty much all over the state of Texas. Right now, this is Parker doing the whip chain. Whip chain is primarily a Chinese weapon, which is used by wushu practitioners. It's all metal from top to bottom. There's actually a big bullet at the end. If you notice, there is a yellow cloth, or what we call is a flag at the end. The flag is there for one, to add sound effects to the weapon, as well as showing full control of the weapon, because when you're whipping that weapon around, it actually generates a lot of speed. So the flag is there to, again, help control the weapon and definitely add some really cool sound effects. Next up is Luis Rufino. Luis is doing a form called Gaebek, which is primarily done by Taekwondo practitioners. It is a traditional form. It is actually a very advanced form. This form is actually done mainly by third-degree black belts. Luis learned it early because Luis competes competitively on the national circuit, and Luis will actually be competing at the 2013 World Games this year in Charleston, South Carolina. So it takes a lot of focus, a lot of speed, precision with the kicks. So you can see good intensity in the face with loud kiosks as well.
Oh, this is certainly exciting to watch, I promise.
Yes, ma'am. Next up is Celeste pose. Celeste is doing an open weapon. A little bit different from the traditional and the whip chain that you just saw. As you can see, this is a long stick, which you have to do a lot of manipulations with the stick, and this is more of an open weapon, so there's some tricks to it. There's some release moves, as you're about to see, under the leg, okay, swinging over the head, okay, but at the same time, you need to show some control with the weapon, because the weapon is an extension of your body. The Celeste definitely demonstrates this very, very well. Next up is Thomas. Thomas is doing a form called Pian Chodan, which is a tongue sudo traditional form. Again, it takes a lot of power, solid stances, focus. As you can see, he snaps his head before each technique, because what you're doing is you're actually pretending that you are fighting opponents. So before you go into your next technique, you're actually going to look to see which opponent is coming. Next up is Mason Barrera. Mason Barrera is doing a Kamas form. So you can see he looks like a smaller, what is it? It's what the Grim Reaper uses.
Yes, the Grim Reaper.
So that's, at least that's what the kids call it. So this is called Kamas, which was used primarily by the Japanese practitioners back in the day, especially by the farmers, because back in the day, the farmers were not allowed to use weapons. So as you can see, they had to improvise with their farm tools, and this is how this, became about a karate weapon. Okay, he does a lot of manipulations with this, some release moves, okay, and lots of cuts, lots of slices, and finishes off very, very strong. Next up is Max. Max is also doing an advanced traditional form. This form is called Goju Shio Sho, which is also a Japanese form. It's a very long form. It's an advanced form. Okay, as you can see, it takes a lot of focus. Breathing is very, very important. Okay, there's some fast parts, some slow parts, so there's a lot of explosive parts in this form. Max actually just learned this form about, I'd say, 2 months ago, and he's been working really hard. Max is actually our 2013 WOMA Amateur World Champion. So Max actually represented the United States over in Ireland about a month and a half ago, and Max came back with, I believe, 3 gold medals and 2 silver medals.
How exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you. Max will also be competing at the 2013 World Games this December in Charleston, South Carolina. So we will actually be leaving Christmas Day all the way through New Year's. And Max has been traveling all over the country representing KICKSTART as well as our KICKSTART competition team. It's basically our regional and national team. And Max has done an amazing job, and this weekend actually just won 2 first place at the Aloha Open.
That is so impressive, the discipline a child has to have to do this.
Especially at a young age.
Yes.
Next up is Jason Ronak. Jason Ronak will be doing an open form. So you can see it's a little bit of acrobatic mixed into it, a lot different from the traditional form that you just saw Max do. And Jason is very athletic. He's very good at doing some of the tricks and some of the flips. Jason was also a member of the 2013 junior U.S. team that went over to Ireland about 2 months ago, and Jason also brought home 2 gold medals as well. Jason's also a very smart student. He actually scored the highest STAR testing score in the whole school last year.
How impressive.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So you can see right now the group is finishing up. Okay, ending off. Okay, going into a ready stance. As you can see the focus in their eyes, good facial expression, and that's the whole demo.
Well, that is certainly a program that I think most of us were unaware of in our community, so thank you for sharing that with us. And I certainly want to recognize the principal. I hope you will come into the set for a moment. We will recognize the Davila Assistant Principal, Jocelyn Pierce. And so thank you, and thank you for supporting this kind of work.
We love the program at our school.
And in thinking about the competition and preparing for this, Romeo, how do you discipline in the program itself in the school? How is that handled?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, the kids are basically they're held accountable for all their actions. The kids know when you come to class, you always the protocol is you come in. Before you come in, you bow. Bowing is to show a sign of respect to your instructor, a sign of respect to the dojo. And then when you bow, basically the way we say is no matter what kind of problems you have, no matter what kind of work you have, basically when you bow, you just kind of leave everything on the ground. And when you come in for that hour, your main focus is that martial arts, because while you're there training, I mean, whatever homework that you have that you still have to do, whatever chores that you might have, whatever problems you might have, guess what? When you leave the dojo, they're still going to be there. So for that hour, we want you to absolutely focus and give it 100% in your training. And then when you're done, same thing, you bow out. And every time during class, the answer is yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And they're definitely held accountable for all of the actions, good or bad, that they do. So the respect is the #1 thing.
And about how many students do you have on a regular basis as a part of the program?
As of now, our school has about 140 students in the KICKSTART program. But overall, I believe right now we have around 8,000 kids overall in the whole KICKSTART program, from Dallas to Houston, to Pflugerville, Navasota, and Bryan, Texas.
That is exciting. Here's the information on your screen for more on KICKSTART Kids. Here is the website or a phone number if you want more information. This is Davila School, 979-209-7150. And we just thank you for sharing your talents with us today, and thank you for leading and for being a supportive parent and principal. Thank you.